everyone. It's Cam Kirk, photographer and founder of Cam Kirk Studios, and I want to give a shout out and a congratulations to the Progress Report on 10 years.
The Progress Report.
All right, what's going on? It's your girl, Lalaa Shepard. This is another episode of Skipping Class presented by the Progress Report. Today, I got Cam Kirk in the building, finally.
Yes.
Welcome, man. It was super important to me that I got this interview. You know, I've been on you for a minute,
Okay, yeah.
but it's our 10-year anniversary, and I just feel like, you know what, better way to celebrate progress than to have progressive people on the platform for the 10-year, man.
I love that. That's dope.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Now, Cam, I know the first time that we met was probably a Done Deal studio years ago. And just ever since, man, you've been doing some dope stuff. I remember the first studio you had, I brought my dad too, so that was cool. But you've been doing a lot of legendary things, but let's run it from the top. So talk about, you were born in Maryland, right?
Yep.
Talk about that, your life in Maryland before, coming out here.
Yeah, so I always say Cameron Kirkland was born in Maryland. Cam Kirk was born in Atlanta. But so I grew up in PG County, Maryland, regular suburban kid. Play sports, had a bigger brother, had a, good family, whatever the case may be. Never was really into the creative arts too much, was really thinking I was going to be a doctor or something. But really my life and culture was always consumed with just like music. I love Southern hip hop, number one, I love Southern hip hop, and I love sports. So those are the two things that pretty much consume my life.
Yes, sir. Talk about making that decision to attend Morehouse. What did that look like? Was it any other prospects or was it just Morehouse?
So Morehouse was really it was never on my radar, to be honest, until my senior year. I didn't really know much about it. But I had a mindset originally that I would never go to HBCU. That was just a mindset that I don't know, was just born with. When you grow up in certain environments, I feel like you could be taught the world isn't just black people. You got to learn how to live amongst them, and you don't want to just go there and where it's comfortable, go somewhere else. So that kind of always stuck with me. So my first choice school was University of Miami.
The U.
Yeah, and that was actually my first real taste of how race plays a part in life. I had a 3.5 GPA, went to a private school. I applied to University of Miami. I got denied. I was kind of confused. But I actually got denied in a more ironic way. I was thinking too much about race to the point where I didn't identify myself as black on my application. So I just was like, man, I don't want them to think that I'm black, so I want to identify myself. And I don't know if that's an ad for DEI or affirmative action, but not doing that, sometimes they won't pick you. You know what I mean? It's weird. It's weird. But so that was my first taste of how the hell I don't get into University of Miami. Grades, I play sports, it didn't make sense. So then my next choice school was University of Maryland.
Okay.
I was gonna go to UMD. And then my senior year, a friend of mine that worked with me at DTLR, I used to work at DTLR. He was 1 year older than me, so he went off to college a year before me, and he went to Morehouse. And when he came back for Christmas break, he was like, yo, I know you're looking at these types of schools, but I really think you would do well at Morehouse, and you should give it a try.
Wow.
And I just had that in my mind. I was like, well, I'll add it to the list. I was really into, like I said earlier, Southern hip hop. So I'm listening to Jeezy, T.I., and all these artists from out there. So I'm like, man, it could be kind of cool to get down to hot Atlanta and see what's going on. So I added it to my list. I toured Morehouse, I toured University of Maryland, and as soon as I stepped on campus at Morehouse, I said, this is my home. Maryland, I just felt out of place, so that's how that decision came about.
Wow. So question, with you being born in Maryland, how did you get introduced to Southern music?
Well, Maryland is one of those states that it's kind of country,
okay.
It's kind of up north, you kind of sit at, I guess they call it the Mason-Dixon line, so you're at the line where, are you considered the South? Are you considered the North? So Southern hip hop runs strong in Maryland. I mean, if you go Maryland, D.C. area, I mean, when I was coming up, it was ran by Lil Wayne. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So Wayne inspired the entire culture, up there, and then from Wayne, like I said, I was listening to T.I., I was listening to Jeezy. I had just got exposed to Gucci Mane.
Yeah, yeah.
I wasn't really all the way exposed to him until I came to college, but then obviously his market in Maryland is insane. Maryland, DC, Gucci. Everywhere, but definitely up there. So Southern hip hop was just having this run. And I think I just was always fascinated by even Boosie. Like I was a big Boosie fan.
For sure.
I remember having DJ Unk's album. I remember having Young Jock's album. Like I was just into what was happening out here. So that was really how I got exposed to it. Then I worked at DTLR at 16. So DTLR, the shoe store, we're playing rap music 24/7. So like every second you go to work, you know, one of the other employees is putting on an album or this. So it was Jeezy, it was this. So that's kind of really what sparked it.
Got you. That's dope, man. Okay, now talk about making a name for yourself and not being, you know, when people go to school, you can either just go with the flow, but how did you build up a name for yourself, and at what point did you pick up that camera?
So when I was in college, first 2 years, I was just a college kid. I wasn't thinking about making no name for myself. I was just thinking about getting through school. You know what I mean? I wasn't really on it like that. Junior year is when I started to like kind of start to think about where I wanted to go in life. So originally I wanted to be a doctor when I first came to college. I changed that to business marketing my freshman year. So then I thought I was going to do marketing, like fashion marketing, or I was going to work for Nike or Adidas or, you know, or continue working at DTLR. So when I started doing fashion marketing, I was like, man, Morehouse is one of the most fashionable schools, period. And there's no outlets for us to actually get into the fashion industry. So that year I started an on-campus organization designed to bring like-minded individuals who were into fashion or who think they want to do a career track in that. And then I built an organization on campus. It was called The Industry. And that was about like trying to make noise and say, hey, we don't have to go corporate or investment banking or be a lawyer or a doctor. At Morehouse, you can actually get into fashion.
Nice.
So that sparked this entrepreneurial journey, this leader journey. Like it started really from there. And then as I'm like trying to come up with ways to fundraise or plan out our fashion shows or things of that nature, that's what exposed me to throwing parties or events. And that's how I got a kind of name for myself in college.
Amazing. Now, did you know anything about entrepreneurship? Like, did you understand what it was?
Yeah, I have a pretty balanced family background. So my parents divorced when I was young and both remarried. So my dad's side of the family is all like government and military. So it's a lot more like stability and just like get up, you go to work, you do your job. My mom's side is a little where I get my entrepreneurial spirit. My mom did work in corporate. She's a corporate beast. And then she ended up, her and her husband started their own company.
Wow.
When I was in, I think maybe high school. So I saw like risk taking. I saw them leave a comfortable corporate job and start something fresh. And we had a family office and like, so it was kind of like around in the spirit. Although I didn't really partake too much into it, I saw that world of like starting your own thing. So that's what really exposed me to entrepreneurship. And my dad's actually a photographer. He had his own business on the side as a wedding photographer. So I would see him run his business as a wedding photographer too, although he wasn't like the most active, but he was pretty active growing up. It was around me, you know what I mean? I didn't really go to get like lessons and at the dinner table about it, but it was around me where I saw my parents work. So I would say, if anything, I got my work ethic from them.
That's dope. And side note, what was their thoughts? You know, just you telling them you was gonna become a doctor. Was that ever a thing? Like, whoa, you switch your gears.
Oh, it was a big thing.
Okay.
I convinced my parents to send me to Morehouse because Morehouse graduates the most black men into medical school every year. So that was what I was leaning on. Like, y'all gotta let me go here. Like, this is what you want to be if you want to be a black doctor. This is the type of institution you need to go to. So, of course, when I made that call home, I switched after first semester. So when I made that call home, like, yeah, I'm gonna do business marketing. They were super confused. It was a big deal. I almost got pulled out of Morehouse. It was a big deal.
Wow.
Thankfully, my dad and my mom, decided to let me, make my own decisions. So they stuck with it. But yeah, that was a big deal for sure.
Amen. Now, just going more into entrepreneurship, though, can you talk about just when did you know that you was an entrepreneur, and when did you know it got to a point where you like, I got to start a business for this. I can't not start a business.
I didn't. I'll say I was thinking about this the other day because I was a lot of my friends in my world like look to me like I just have all of this
Yeah.
insane knowledge when it comes to being a businessman or running a company. And I was like, really, entrepreneurship kind of started when I started Cam Kirk Studios, which is 8 years going on 9 years. Like, yeah, I technically was an entrepreneur because I was a photographer, but I really consider that more like I was like a service provider. Like I was more so just getting paid to provide a service. I wasn't really running a business. I didn't have employees and thinking about payroll and thinking about employee taxes, and I wasn't thinking about that stuff until I had Cam Kirk Studios. So I would say I thought about myself as an entrepreneur really like 8 years ago.
Wow.
2017.
Wow. Wow. And talk about just that pivot though to becoming the full-time entrepreneur. Like, was it scary? Were you embracing it? How did you feel?
Photography has been the easiest thing I've ever tried to do in life. So it's honestly never really been scary to do anything within this world or this field. Because the second I tried to do it was the second like doors just swung open for me all over the board. And I've been blessed to attract a lot of work. Like regardless of what I'm doing, I just attract a lot of good energy around when I'm really locked in on photography or building. And quite frankly, I came up at a renaissance time in Atlanta. Like I won't sugarcoat the luck of me being born at the age and the time that I was and being in Atlanta with the camera in that 2011, 2012, 2015 range. Like
beautiful times.
It's a beautiful time in Atlanta. I don't say it never. I hope it'll happen again soon, but it's one of those times that it rarely happens. And then to be a photographer in a social media age where now it's like you have an outlet to distribute your work yourself. Like you gotta think about photographers like Jonathan Mannion. If he wanted to put a picture out prior to Instagram or social media, how would he do that? He would take an ad out in
magazines.
In a magazine, take an ad out in the paper. Like if he had a picture he wanted to put out that he just took, he's got to either take an ad out in a magazine, print it himself, and do some guerrilla marketing. I hope he gets published in a magazine, but he had no power to just wake up and say, I want the world to see this picture, so I'm going to post this picture. So to be a photographer during the heyday of that is powerful.
Agreed.
Like that's a crazy time. And then to be capturing, like I said, a renaissance of these artists. Like, we had all of this energy bubbling in Atlanta, and I was the only one, for the most part, with a camera. So that just changed everything for me. And made it pretty easy. So it never was really scary, but the only part that was a little tricky was there was no blueprint. So you could, although I look up to Jonathan Mannion, I look up to D. Wong, Motion Family guy, Zach Wolf, even they had to restart their blueprint at social media era because it's the game has changed. So that was the only part that was tricky but exciting is like, you don't have a living example of how someone did what it is you're doing and made money in this environment or in this world. So you have to create your own blueprint, which was pretty dope. But that was the only part that I would say is a little scary.
Understood. And just for perspective, so I moved to Atlanta 2013. I'm originally from Ohio, so I agree that those years, just
crazy.
The music, the movement, the energy. I mean, it's like a timeless thing. You just kind of had to be there. It's no words that you can really even
not at all
put on it.
Not at all.
So with that being said, 2 years later into me moving here, you do the Trap God exhibit. Crazy. I think that marked like one of the first like feel good things that we did. And when I say that, I mean like for our era where we like, okay, he really put together this exhibit. You had the lines. I mean, people was wrapped around the building. It wasn't just black people. It was white people. It was just everybody. I mean, it was, I've never seen nothing like that for that. And I think you were the first one to do that in our era. So let's talk about that exhibit.
Okay, cool.
Talk about putting it together. Did you think that it was going to be the impact that it was? And
Nah, but that was the Trap God exhibit was the first thing I ever did, like kind of by myself.
Yeah.
As like Cam Kirk.
Mm.
So the timeline before that, Trap God exhibit was in May 2015. So timeline before that, from 2012 to 2015, I was always like somebody's photographer or somebody's day-to-day cameraman. So whether that was Young Scooter, some time I spent with Future. Through Scooter, I was around Gucci. From there, I started working with Metro Boomin. I was with Mike Will. Like, I always was just a guy that you called to come to the studio. And I built a hell of a name for myself during those times. But I was kind of that guy. Like, call him, he go on tour with us, or he go here with us, he do that with us. And in 2015, I was kind of just getting over that feeling of like, this is cool, but I want to do more for myself. I want to actually make my own money. I had went through a situation with an artist that I wasn't really fond of the way the dynamic went, and I was just like, man, I'm tired of people having control over my destiny. I don't like the fact that I only work if I get a phone call. I only do this if I get that. So 2015, I had just got off tour with the Rodeo tour with Travis Scott, Young Thug, and Metro. So I just got exposed to the world. And the Rodeo tour was the first tour that Thug's first tour, Metro's first tour. And it's one of the first times that we from Atlanta got to see our impact, like on a national scale. Like every night you're in a different city and they're singing these songs that we made in dark, like word for word. Like you're seeing the impact of it. Like I'm going to places and people are recognizing me on this tour. So when I came home, I was like, I gotta do something with this fan base. And quite frankly, I had a blueprint that I witnessed. I had been following Young Scooter since he just dropped Columbia. So I was with Young Scooter when he was making $1,000 a show, like doing little clubs, all the way to the last day I worked with him when he had got locked up before his second time I worked with him. First time after Street Lottery, he went from $1,000 a show to $40,000 a show. This is before any of the artists popped off. He was the leader of all of that. And he was getting $40,000 a show. So I saw everything he did to go from just a local guy you might see running around to a star in his own right. I saw the blueprint. I was a part of it. I helped a lot of ways with it, even beyond the camera work. I was like marketing him, helping him with PR. I saw so much of the people that played a part in that. So I studied it. Yeah. So then after he got locked up, Gucci got locked up, I started working with the producers. So I started working with Mike Will. I started working with Metro Boomin. I saw how they were creating a wave by being behind the scenes guys that were coming in front of the scenes and taking ownership of their records, ownership of their career. So then I saw I work for an artist. I saw I work for a producer. So I was like, I wonder will it work for a photographer? And that was kind of the philosophy. So when I came home 2015, I was like, yo, I got to do something big. I had all these photos of Gucci. Gucci was still locked up. I had all these photos of him. And every time I would like share a photo on Instagram, it was going viral. Yeah. So I was like, I need to do something with these. I don't want to just put them online. So I came up with the idea to do the exhibit. Originally, I was going to do like a normal gallery, white wall pictures. And I would tell my friends this idea. I'd be like, yo, I'm going to do this Gucci gallery. I'm going to put it on the white wall. I'm going to do an art joint. And I didn't know how to get into art galleries or what it cost or the situation or how do you even do that. And I would tell them and they would be excited like, oh, that's what's up. And then I would be like, yo, but what if like to decorate it, I put like a stove in there, like an old stove, like a pot on there. And I would watch their eyes be like, okay, it's hard. And then I would like keep building and then I would just like, instead of a gallery, what if I did it at a trap house? Like what if I actually did it at a trap house? Like somebody's house in East Atlanta, I rent their crib out and you go to each room and there's pictures of Gucci on the wall. And then I watched my friend's eyes just like light up. Like, yo, that'd be crazy. Like that's wow, that'd be crazy. So I'm like, man, I gotta figure out how to do that. And then we went through a bunch of iterations of trying to figure it out, and I just kept building on it. Ended up with the help of ManMan Savage and his friend named Moo. He had a spot in East Atlanta that was a old church that they had been living in or converted it. So one side of the house is church, other side is a house. and like a trap house type of thing. And I was like, yo, this is kind of crazy. Originally, I didn't see the vision, but ManMan was just like, you don't get it? Like, it's a trap god. Where would the trap god live? And then it just like sparked. I give him a lot of credit for that. He definitely sparked that, like, that connection, because I was really looking for a more traditional just house. And
gallery.
He did that. I was like, oh man, this is gonna work. And then I put the plan together. Then we just kept building. So then it became like actors. Let's have a priest walking around with a Bible and an AK-47. Let's have girls cooking up dope. And then at that time, I was like, man, Atlanta turns everything into a party. I don't want this to be a party. So I'm gonna have the trap house owner walk through the venue and kick people out, like as if he just like owns the spot, and it's like it make it feel more surreal. So I'm like, what if he had like a pit bull and he would just go up to people that been there for too long or 15 minutes and be like, yo bro, get the fuck out my trap, get out my trap, get out my trap, like really make it feel like you where you're not supposed to be. So we had all of these elements. It became hella fun, and yeah, that day was just historic.
Crazy. And it's, I don't think I started picking up a camera until 2016, which I'm like always kicking myself in the foot, like, but that was one of those moments I wish I could have recorded just everything. I think everybody's just expression, we was just like, what in the hell?
Yeah, nobody knew what to expect. I didn't really give people a lot, and it went viral, and it was crazy.
Absolutely. And another legendary thing that happened, Young Thug shot the Again video there.
Oh yeah.
Talk about it.
So the morning that I'm preparing for the event, Thug hits me out of nowhere, and he like, bro, you ain't tell me you had an event? I made it like my point not to tell like the people that I came up with. I didn't want them to feel like they helped me or they, like, I wanted to do something on my own.
I respect that.
And I was really adamant about that. And he was like, bro, why you ain't tell me you had this? I'm like, well, you know, I didn't know you would pull up or whatever. I didn't really know. He was like, I gotta pull up. Like, I gotta do it. And he was a man of his word. And he pulled up like towards the end of the event. And yeah, he was just inspired by the spot. He was like, man, I got this song with Gucci, man. We shoot a video. And we shot a video right there on the spot.
Crazy.
Fire. That video, I think, has 100 million views on it. Something like that's crazy.
Easily.
It's crazy.
Epic, man. Dope ass song still to this day, by the way. That's one of those songs that I never get tired of.
Yeah.
It's a dope record.
Legendary.
Now for you, how is it seeing Gucci's man transition, you know, from this particular Gucci man to, you know, the grown man Gucci now, the family man? How is that for you?
That's amazing, man. That's a true testament of just maturity, growth. But to be fair to him, it's the same guy I saw. So like I wasn't exposed to this other character that people talk about. I'm not gonna say it didn't exist or it's not real. I think he would even admit that it existed. But the guy I saw was always like, you know, fun to be around, you know, laughing, joking, generous, like XYZ. So obviously seeing him in shape and just taking care of himself, you know, having that much discipline is dope. But I was really happy that when he got out of prison, I got to go back on the road with him again. Although I didn't really need to do it. Like, I already had my studio, I think was already about to start. And I didn't really need to do it at that time. I just felt like it would be a good, like, close of the chapter. Like I was with him before, you know, to have this moment after. I just think it made sense for us to do that. And it was dope, and I appreciate him for that opportunity as well. To got to see the new version of him and travel the world again with him was really dope.
Absolutely. What would be your advice to a photographer now? Somebody that may just be learning about your story or just may see some of your work and stuff. What would you tell that person?
The biggest advice, I give a lot of advice.
I'm sure.
I'm always mentoring. But one of the big things, I try to dispel the early misconceptions. That's what I try to get off the bat. Because sometimes people will come up to me like, how'd you work with so many celebrities? Like, how'd you shoot so many of this? And I'd be like, yes, they're celebrities to you today. Go back in your time machine and look at the timeline of when I work with them. Like, I was picking up Metro Boomin from Morehouse College dorm.
Yeah.
Like, he went to college. He was a college kid. He's the same kid as at college now. Like, you know, it just so happened he turned out to be Metro Boomin. You know what I mean? And grows to be that. Like, and those same stories exist with pretty much everybody in my early days of working with him.
Absolutely.
Like, when I worked with Travis Scott, he wasn't this version.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so, and you can go down my whole list of portfolio in my early days, and that's pretty much what it is. These guys, through the work we did and the work that they put in for themselves, grew on to be celebrities. So now you look back and it's like, oh, his whole portfolio is celebrities. But I was working with local artists.
Facts.
That I believed in. People that I thought were dope and thought that, and gave me an opportunity to work with them that I went hard for. And then I played a bigger role with every single person I work with. I've done way more than just take their picture. Everybody. Absolutely. I brought another level of myself to the table, which is something that I would say to young photographers is be valuable. Be valuable in the room. Like, create value. Anybody can push a button and take a picture nowadays. So you got to have some type of what else can you do? Like, oh, do you know how to make a graphic? Do you know how to make an album cover? Like, I made the Trap House 3 album cover.
Classic.
Like, I made that. And as a result of making that, I got to put my own picture in it too, which also helped expose my work. But what else can you do? Do you know clothing designers? I used to have brands send me clothes to give to Thug and Quan and Metro. I knew how to work the internet. So I'll be talking to someone at Undefeated or Deadline. If you see early Thug, he's wearing a lot of this clothing brand called Deadline. Like, they would send me boxes and I would distribute it. It's also just adding value. So when I came around Thug, I'm blessing them with gifts. I'm like, yo, wow, boom. So now I'm not just the young photographer. I'm like, you know what I mean? Somebody, oh shit, he hooked me up with something. You know what I mean? So I'm bringing value. So I would say those same principles exist today. Like, be of value. Like, and then also perfect your craft, but be of value. You know what I mean? Provide value in every room that you're in.
Amen. I definitely love that. Always be an asset. That's real. Now I do want to ask you, with this game, I always describe it as an emotional roller coaster. And I know I heard an interview that you did, a couple of months ago. You said that you kind of been stepping away from the music aspect, and I understand that. We've lost a lot of people, and I know, a lot of people you were extremely close with. Talk about just mental health and how that plays a role into that. How do you deal and cope with certain things? And is it, can you talk about some of the artists maybe that you had relationships that we lost? Of course, Scooter, got Bankroll Fresh. You filmed with Lalaa Savage too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's kind of scary to go back.
It is scary.
And look at the portfolio of people that you've lost. And photography is an intimate expression of art. Like, you're capturing the essence of somebody. You're capturing certain ways their soul and their true identity. So it does bring a connection with anybody you work with. So yeah, like, the list is scarily long and unfortunately long of individuals that we've lost that I've had the privilege of documenting or working with, and they all hurt. Like, it is one of the reasons why I took a little step back. It's just it could get a little dark, whereas like what I'm building in Cam Kirk Studios feels light, it feels bright, it just feels better, at certain times. Now I'm very appreciative of the music industry, and I still play my role in the music industry. I'm still shooting covers, I'm still working with dope artists, I'm still mentoring people up in that space, and I'm still working across it. But there was a little window where I was finding a lot of peace in like just building my own world adjacent to the industry, because of all that. And when it comes to mental health, that was my mental health decisions. Like, when you be around this world, you can find yourself, you could kind of lose yourself in it sometimes. Like, then you find yourself doing things that you would never do, you know what I mean, or even having thoughts that you probably wouldn't normally have, and you're like, where's that coming from? That's not who I am. Like, people that know me early in my career, I used to not curse, so I didn't start cursing until I was like 26, 27. Wow. Like, I would be censoring myself in rooms, even in studios with Metro, and I'd be like, cut that like, it was like a laughing stock. They used to laugh at me about it, but I missed like that guy. Like, like, I used to think like, man, my words have power. I want you to know when I'm upset. But if we keep saying this and this every 5 seconds, how do you even decipher when I'm dead serious? And I used to think like that. Like, man, that's dope. So like, someone can really you could just cut through with your words because you use them wisely. that's a valuable asset. And I used to be on that, but then you be around it and the music, and I'm not blaming nobody but myself. Like you start to, you know, lose a little bit of that. And then so for me it was like, man, I just want to get back to who I am. And I took a little step back and I've been building my world with Cam Kirk Studios. But again, I'm still in it. Like shot NBA Youngboy last year.
Yes, sir.
Did some work with all these people. Like I'm still in it. I'm still in the world.
Yeah.
And I'm still blessed to be at a privileged position in the world to be able to continue to get work and trust of labels and artists even to this day.
Hey man, no, that's real. And again, that's why I describe it as an emotional roller coaster. I mean, that's all I can say.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Now, of course, congratulations on the new location, man. Yep. Talk about just how proud of you of yourself and just seeing just where you've come from to where you at now.
Yeah, so we moved our studio location, Cam Kirk Studios. We moved from downtown, which was a legendary spot across from Magic City. And we were able to move to Atlanta's Beltline, Krog District, which is just a complete elevation of the space, like a facelift, like a super facelift.
Absolutely.
And it also just kind of puts the way that I always saw my space, like in the right home. Like it puts it in a place where people can see it for exactly what it was supposed to be. And it was a life-changing decision, life-changing move, not only for me personally, but for the company. It was scary. It was a lot of fear that kept me where I was at, complacency to a certain degree. Like I consider Atlanta like a comfortable couch. Like it get cozy out here, and you can get like lost and just snuggled into like a routine or like this is how it is, and you can lose track on how big Atlanta is and how big the world is.
Yeah,
it's one of those places where you get caught into your routine and you start telling yourself, man, Atlanta don't got this, it don't got that, because you only go through this bubble. You only live in this little area of town, and you thinking Atlanta don't got this or that. So for me, it was about like getting out of that and starting fresh somewhere else, and then being amongst like-minded businesses and individuals. So, you know, where we're nestled at is like millions of dollar companies here, company here, restaurants here. The Rivian just invested billions of dollars. They literally are my neighbor across the hall. Like I'm next to Jenny's ice cream. That's open. Like it's like
people love Jenny's.
People love this stuff, and I'm like in an area like on any given day on the Beltline, we'll see 5,000 people walk in front of our door
easily.
So it's like to go from where I was at, my neighbors before were the Greyhound bus station, Magic City, which they would only bright light, and even they had their own things about them. But your Atlanta Greyhound bus station, MARTA, the jail, Magic City, a rundown mini mart that gets shot up every 2 seconds.
Yes, literally.
Like that was my neighbors. Yeah, it's my neighbors, and not to mention who's in the building with me is all types of mess. So you had to go through all of that. Go inside this old building, go to the 4th floor where elevators barely work, get off the 4th floor, walk down the hallway, find us in a nook of the building to just be a pleasant surprise. You know what I mean? And we made that spot work. But where we're at now is like, it's night and day. It's a beautiful thing.
Hey man, I'm so proud of you. Like that's commendable. And salute to my man Kavinci as well. Yeah. We've done a couple of photo shoots as a progress report in the old building, and this is so funny that you say these things. It's like, you know, you gotta love Atlanta. Yeah. Because for one thing, even like our studio here, you probably wouldn't even know it's here. Yeah. But that's what your location always reminded me of, and it was gonna be a journey to get up in there. Yep. But man, congratulations on the new spot.
I used to like that. Yeah. At one point, and then you have to take in consideration like the toll that it has on other people. Absolutely. So like everybody don't think the way you think. So I used to, when I got the original building downtown, I was thinking this is kind of how it is in New York. Yeah. It's kind of how it is in certain parts of downtown LA. Yeah. Like the outside surroundings like this. No. But you don't know, and then you get in there and it's like go through this whole, and then it's like, oh, like when I used to go visit clothing brands like 10 Deep in New York. It used to be in this nook of in the cut. You go upstairs, you go through this other buildings, and then they would have the corner office, but it would be a beautiful office. Yeah. And that was the way I kind of originally wrapped my mind around looking at our spot. It's like, it's meant to be a hidden gem. It's meant to be a diamond in the rough.
Got you.
And we did that in there. We did over 30,000 photo shoots in there. So we did that in there.
Amen.
We work with every brand you can think of in there. We've had Samuel Jackson did a photo shoot in there. So we did that. Like,
yes,
but it's different now when you don't have to deal with that.
Amen.
You know what I mean? And it's like people come there and they want to hang out. So now we've done some of the biggest artists in the world have been in our new spot, and we can't get them out of the spot. It's like they want to hang out. They go to the restaurant across the street. They want to come back. Like, it's like, no, y'all actually have to leave. We
got another show.
Somebody else coming after you, but like they like, man, this is cozy, you know?
That's true. And I think, you know, it's dope that you did it that way first. I feel like, you know, every industry is different. For what we do, I do love the fact people don't know it's a studio, but for what you guys have going on, I think it's a great opportunity for people to... No, let's see. Y'all can come in and catch a vibe. So I totally get that. And again, man, much respect. So Cam, I have this question I ask all my guests, and I know I've asked you before. What does our keyword progress mean? You a progressive person. What does it mean to you now?
Progress is can be measured in a number of different ways, but for me, it's the most important word in business because it's a marathon. So I measure my success through how, like, progression, like, am I moving even an inch further? I think it's the number one telltale sign if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. If you're in alignment with what you're supposed to be doing, you're going to always see progress, whether it's you move forward an inch, a mile, 3 miles, like whatever it is. As long as you're seeing progress, you're getting closer to your destination. So progress to me is my number one, like, KPI in business words that I always look forward to. It's like, are we making progress? Are we getting closer to where we want to go? So for me, it's pivotal, and it's the number one benchmark to if you're on the right track to success.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Love that, man. Anything that you want to say to your day one supporters?
Just like I'm grateful, I'm thankful that so many people see value in my perspective, my vision, my identity, what I'm leaving. Like, I never take for granted that I'm still a guest in a sense to Atlanta. Like, you know, I was born in Maryland, but I don't take that for granted that they open doors for me, open opportunity for me. That's why, if you know my journey, you know community building and opening opportunities is the biggest thing that I do. So the number one thing I do. So I'm grateful for the opportunities I've been given. I'm grateful for the opportunities I could provide. And I'm grateful that people find value in knowing what a photographer has to say or think or do. And it's been that way for some time. Like, it's really fulfilling when I meet people down the street on the street. I don't necessarily call them fans because I don't know what to call them. When I meet people, people say thank you to me. Like, it's like a weird thing, but it's like people I never even met before.
Wow.
Like, appreciate everything you do. Thank you, man, for everything you do. And it's like, that is the dopest way to be kind of approached in the world. It's met with gratitude. It's like they appreciate what it is that I'm doing, and to me, I'm taking pictures and building, you know, space. Like, I don't really look at it like that, but when you walk down the street and that happens, like, I don't get people that necessarily even identify what it is they're grateful for. It's just like, man, I appreciate, you know, what you do, man. Thank you for all you do for the city and da. So,
amen.
Vice versa, I'm thankful for them to see value in what I'm doing and support it for sure.
Powerful, man. Well, Cam, I appreciate your time. This is one for the books.
The Progress Report.